guys, so you are super close to the camera today, and that is because, if you couldn't tell by the title already, I am filming a haul video today, but it's not just going to be any normal haul video. It's going to be a walk you through what I got / watch me put it on my face video. Now it is like 4 in the afternoon at the moment, so I'm kind of going to try and get this done relatively quickly because I think it's going to get dark pretty soon. So if I'm speeding through it, that's why. I have primed my face already today, and I'm using the Nivea Men's Sensitive Post Balm Shave. That's glass? That's glass! I thought that was plastic. The more you know. Really good primer, by the way. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. So, as you guys will know if you watched my last video, if you haven't, I will link it down below, but that was a vlog of my Sydney trip. And my Sydney trip was essentially me being in Sydney and going to IMATS and buying lots of things that I really shouldn't have spent the money on. But anyway, that is beside the point. So today I'm going to be doing my makeup, and as I do my makeup, which I will be using the things that I bought from IMATS / Sephora, I will be like kind of showing you how it goes on and my personal opinion of it. So it'll sort of be like a review / haul video. Obviously I'm starting with a base, and the only foundation that I bought at all actually was the Gen Do Aqua Foundation, and I got mine in the shade 113. I think this is a tiny bit dark for me, but once I've got concealer and everything on, it looks really good. It's a super lightweight formula. I think it is super similar to the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum in shade 51, except the Gen Do is slightly darker. They are very similar consistency and formula, I feel. Anyway, I think this one is slightly more watery, so it just kind of depends what your skin reacts to, what it doesn't react to, all of that. Anyway, let's put this on my face. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the hand. You can see it's running. It's pretty like fluidy. I use usually about 2 pumps of this. I just dab my finger in it and then kind of swipe it onto the areas of my face that I'm going to need it. And then I just grab a RealTechniques Miracle Complexion sponge and blend that all into my face. As you can see, it's super like glowy, definitely not like a matte finish or anything like that. It's definitely glowy foundation. To conceal, I'm just going to use my MAC Pro Longwear, which is just my standard. That's not new, that's just what I always use. So I'm just going to put that on my face as well. The MAC Pro Longwear was in the shade NW20, and I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in 15 Fair, and that is just going to go a little bit under my eyes there because I get very purpley in those inner corners. Oh, I'm going to go on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on those little lines just to kind of accentuate them, on my chin there, and I think that'll be about it because that's very brightening. Next, some people think this is weird, but I like to do my eyebrows. I usually use my dip brow in dark brown, but I've run out of that and I'm yet to get another one, so I'm just going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow in dark brown as well, and just a little angled brush and draw in my eyebrows. This is just what I always use. This isn't new, it's just standard. You guys all know about this. There you go. That's an eyebrow done. I went into the Makeup Forever stall in IMATS. I guess this is what we're starting with. And I got a kind of magnetic palette, which is this guy. So just a big magnetic palette. And I got a couple of eyeshadows and a contour powder from MAC to go in here. These two are the eyeshadows that I got from Makeup Forever. This one, oh god, is $7.50. And the darker kind of rougey one is in $8.46. What I am using is the contour powder from MAC that came in this. This is one of the MAC Pro powders, I think they're called. This one is in a shade called Sculpt. That's what I'm going to be using to contour my face today. Again, I'm just going to pop that in the hollows of my cheeks. Contour is on. Yeah, done. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go in with one of the brushes that I got from IMATS. And this is This is E. This is the Bdellium Tools 974 kind of tapered tulip brush, I think they're called, and I'm just going to go in and blend that out as much as I can because I don't want a super harsh contour. It's also quite of a almost like a red, not red base, like it's a bit of a like more tan colour rather than like a ashy shadowy colour. So it kind of looks a little bit like a bronzer as well. Now I'm quite pale, so that can be quite hard to do on me, so that's why I really like that contour colour. While we're here, I might as well just show you the rest of the brushes while I have half a face of makeup on. So there was the 974 Bdellium, the 975, which is really good, like all over powder. It's also kind of got like a tapered like little bit here, which is really, I don't know, good for contouring. If you've got a bigger face, you can just kind of squeeze it a little bit and it'll do the job there for you. And then I have the 960 Precise Blush Brush, which is really good if you have a small face like I do. You can probably also use this for highlight and other things as well, as under eye setting maybe. I also got the 925 from Bdellium. It's just a fan brush. I got the 934, and this is just a brush that I use for concealer if I ever want to clean up my eyebrows or anything like that. That is what I use. And then the last two brushes I already had, but I wanted another one for like, so I can use them and stuff. And they are the 785 and the 776. This one is like the, I think it's a 217 MAC brush, and also like the E25 Sigma brush, which I have, but I actually like the Bdellium ones better. They're a really good blending brush. And this one is the 785, which is kind of comparable to the E40, except the 785 Bdellium brush is a little bit more tapered, which I really prefer to blend with. And this one, ooh, can you see all the dust coming off that? This one is just kind of more rounded rather than tapered, I guess. I also, from, I think it's called Designer Makeup Tools? Yep, Designer Makeup Tools. I got a couple of brushes too. I got the 14 Natural Eyeshadow brush. It's just a really great big brush. You can really like pack colour on with this one. If you just want to do like an overall eyelid colour, this one would be really good for that. I got a slightly version of that, the 429 Large Eyeshadow. Pretty much the exact same thing, just slightly smaller, about half the size. I also got the Conceal Taklon brush, which I have actually been using for like eyeshadows that you need to like really pack on, that you would usually use with a finger or something like that. I find these kinds of brushes really good for that. I also got the 160W Soft Tapered Blend brush. This one's just a tiny little blending brush. It's a little bit bigger than this one that I have from Bdellium. This is one that I already had. This is the 781. As you can see, they're essentially the exact same thing, but the Designer Makeup Tools one is slightly slightly bigger and maybe slightly fluffier as well. And the last two that I got are basically just blending brushes. I got the number 10 Soft Taper Blend and the number 606 Soft Tapered Blend. And they're essentially the same brush, except this one is maybe slightly, like it's definitely bigger, but it's slightly more tapered. It's in more of a point, whereas this one's a little bit more rounded. And that's, yeah, pretty much that's the difference. So those are all the brushes that I got. So far I like them all. I don't know that I've used them enough to be able to make that a definitive statement, but that's my verdict on it for the moment. So let's put some powder underneath my eyes. I've just done my contour, so I'm going to do some bacon now. I'm just using my Rimmel London Match Perfection. Oh, that's a lot of powder. I'm just going to pack that on so that when we brush it off, we get a really nice highlight effect. Cool, now we look like a crazy person. Also, in terms of contouring, before I forget, I also got the Makeup Forever Sculpting Kit from Makeup Forever. And the contour on this is slightly warmer, so I'll probably use this more when I'm a little bit more tan. It also has like a highlight in there as well, which is really good. It's a good highlight, I think anyway. I don't have enough powder on that side of my face. So that was that. Okay, next on the agenda. Yes, it's a Sephora bag. Okay, first up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveler palette. This is a gorgeous palette. I've actually used this quite a bit, and I've used quite a few colours out of this, which surprised me. This is a beautiful palette. It also comes with a little brush, and it has a little smudgy end and a little blendy end, which is very handy if you are travelling. World Traveler palette. Good job, Anastasia. And the other thing I got in terms of eyeshadows from Sephora, I got the Shade and Light Eye Palette by Kat Von D. It is this one. So they're separated into 3 little kind of compartments, and they're meant to be like quads. Like this is an all over base color, crease, definition, highlight, all over base color, crease, definition, highlight, all over base color, crease, definition, highlight. I've just got powder all on that. But I would actually probably use it like, I don't know about you guys, but I would go highlight, contour, blush, and then just a whole shit ton of eyeshadows. That's how I look at it. But I mean, you do you. You do how you want to do it. But this is beautiful, and I actually have only used the black from this. I haven't actually even touched any of the others. So I don't really know how the quality is, but I've heard it's amazing. And I know that the black is super freaking good, super pigmented, and just really, really amazing. So if that says anything at all about the rest of the palette, it's gonna be good. The last eyeshadows that I have to talk about are these 3 Morphe palettes. Okay, so these are freaking good. I wasn't expecting that. The sun's starting to go down, Jess. You have to speak faster. I wasn't expecting the quality from these that I'm getting, and I have been using these consistently. I've been using them over everything because they're just amazing. They're so good, and they're so inexpensive. You get 35 eyeshadows and they're all like freaking amazing. Look at that. This is the 35T palette, the kind of taupey. Did I just fuck up my... No. It's the kind of taupey palette. All of these shades are just like look at this. Like, what? I'll swatch some for you or something, shall I? That's them there. That is like I can't even fathom. I bought 3 palettes for $105, guys. Like, that's a little over like $30 for each palette, and you get this kind of color payoff for 35 eyeshadows. That's like $1 an eyeshadow. That's insane. I can't. I also got the 35O palette, which is the like all-time like huge culty favorite eyeshadow palette from Morphe, and I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's friggin' beautiful. Like, it really is. It's very, very obviously very like orangey, warm tones, taupey. It's beautiful. What can I say? Go away. It's got your browns and your neutrals. You can use, if you're not like super comfortable with color, you can literally just stick to like these 4 rows here, and you'd be fine. But these 3 rows are super like bright and wonderful for autumn, super great for all you Americans at the moment. My favorite shade in this palette is this one. My only gripe about it is that it's quite chunky. Like, you can see just from moving around, that's the shiniest one in there. It's like this beautiful like metallic. I'll swatch it for you. So that is what those eyeshadows look like. That one right there is the color that I was talking about. It's kind of hard to see in this light. Oh, if I tilt my hand this way, it's a little bit easier. But as you can see, it's kind of like chunky at the ends there. Like, you really have to work hard to blend it out. The 2 middle colors are stunning. It's an orange there and one of the brownie gold colors. This palette is like, oh my god, Morphe, they're killing me. Morphe are killing me. The last one I got was the 35P palette, and P, as you all would probably have guessed, if you don't already know about it or have it. Oh my god, I can't open this. Oh no, fuck. Ow. Okay. This is the 35P palette. This palette is all kinds of cray. Like, especially if you've got hazel eyes, like, even just putting them next to my eyes makes my eyes look greener. Like, that's fucking insane. I love purple shadows because they make my eyes look super green, and I just like telling people that my eyes are green, even though they're hazel. But anyway, this palette is stunning. It is ever so slightly disappointing though. You see this shade right here that I one to be super like iridescent and beautiful isn't so much. Oh, never mind, I kind of lied. This is what some of the shadows look like. I will let you know there is this really like chunky sparkly color, which is the second from the top there, and it looks black, but it's kind of brown, almost with like a plummy undertone, and like whoa. And then it's got like kind of purpley rosy reflects in it, and it's pretty, but it's like chunky. And I don't mean chunky like it's got a lot of fallout, or I mean like you can feel the chunks of glitter in it. So that might not be as nice, but it's beautiful. Like, I mean, all the colors are stunning. And now my hands are covered in shit. But the color that I was talking about before, the one that I thought was going to be disappointing, is actually probably the best one that I've swatched. To prime my eyes, I'm going to use the Lorac Pro. The Lorac Pro Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. And this is probably my all-time favorite eye primer. I really like Lorac. They're good at what they do. I'm going to use my 35O and my Anastasia palette, and probably that red from the Makeup Forever palette as well. Saw Jaclyn Hill do a tutorial and I was like, I need to do that on my face. And I'm going out tonight, so I want to wear it. I'm going to take the number 10 Soft Taper Blend Brush. I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveler palette. I just said that. And go into Morocco here. I think that's what I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna tap the excess off. I'm gonna go kind of into the outer corners of my eyes. Let's go with the outer corners. Kind of into the crease. And then kind of sweep it across there a bit. I'm just really gonna like work on diffusing that. And making it all pretty and stuff. I might actually go in with my bdellium 785 and just blend out the edges there. Now I'm going to go into the Morphe 350 palette and I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit on that and tap off like most of the excess, because we don't want a lot of this shit. And then I'm going to go back in over that, mostly through my crease, and blend it. Back in with that blending brush. For the finishing touches, I'm going to go into that Makeup Forever palette and use that very, very dark kind of rougey red in the middle there. I'm going to take my bdellium 781 and I'm going to go into that very corner there. And maybe slightly up, but not too much. Okay, I'm going to have to blend the shit out of that in a second. And then I'm going to go back in with that, the Soft Tapered Blend, number 10, and blend that out. And I'm not too scared to blend it across the lid a little bit. There we go. That's my eyeshadow. Boom. I'm going to grab my bdellium 714 brush, which is just a little tiny flat sort of brush there, and I'm going to take it. First I'm going to go in with this colour here, which is called Succubus. It's like kind of a reddy brown colour. And just on the top there, on that lash line, I'm just going to define just the outer part, just a tiny bit. Let's take this powder off, because this shit's starting to annoy me. Okay. Whoa, that went very white. That's a lot less white in real life than it is on camera, to be honest. There's my face. So I'm going to go in with my Scandaleyes eyeliner and just line the bottom lash line there. Then I'm going to take my Revlon Photo Ready powder, and it is a white powder, but just bear with me. And I'm going to wiggle my brush in it and pop it on the inner corners of my eyes, and I'm just going to put like a shit ton of that on. I might actually go in with something else as well, just to make that even brighter. I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Liberté Lipitos, something, I don't know, just to make that even brighter. Last thing, I'm going to use this Tarte Gifted, what's this called? Mascara. I got this from Sephora when we were in Sydney too. And I've used this a couple of times. It's okay. It's not my favourite. If I was going to use my own, like out of my own choice, I would be using the Better Than Sex, because it really amps up my eyelashes. But today, we're just going to do this. Rest on my face, here we go. What I'm going to use today is the NARS Laguna powder, because this is my holy grail, obviously. And I'm just going to use, sorry this brush is dirty because I have been using it. It is the RealTechniques blush brush, and I use this for bronzer because I want to swirl that in there, tap up the excess, and then just kind of bring it underneath my chin area there and up onto my forehead. Again, it looks super patchy, but in real life it's not at all. Probably just a shadow. What do you want? Okay, so this is MAC Margin. I'm going to take my little 960 brush on there and just tap that in there. Tap off the excess because I'm really not a massive fan of blush. And kind of just put that, ooh, it's shiny. And now for the glow. First up, I'm going to use the Incandescent Light middle colour from my Hourglass palette there. I'm going to use my tapered highlighter brush. I'm going to dab some of that in there, tap off that excess, and then pop it right on the cheekbone. A lot on my cupid's bow. I like to be glowy. Well, on my nose, between that brow area, above my eyebrows. I really like highlighting, guys, okay? You highlight as much as you want, but I'm gonna go ham with this. You would think that I would stop there, but I'm not going to. Now I'm gonna go in with my Mary Lou and a smaller brush. I'm actually gonna use my tapered blending E40 brush from Sigma. Pop some of that on there and go right in that spot. I learned this from Nikki Tutorials. I learned it from somebody else. I can't remember who. You'll have to go onto her site and check it out. Onto her site, onto her YouTube channel. Okay, so I got some LA Splash liquid lipsticks from IMATS, and they're bomb. They're actually the best ever. Okay, I got them in Poison Apple, which is kind of like a really kind of blue-based red with some glittery, shimmery bits through it that I don't think that you can actually see once it's dried, but anyway. I also got Latte Confession, which is probably my favorite of all of them. It's just like a really, really gorgeous kind of... I don't even know how to describe this. It's like, it like looks like a latte, but slightly more red. It's just... I don't know, it's beautiful. I also got Ghoulish, which is the new version, not the OG Ghoulish, which is much more grey based. And they are all lip coutures, and I also got some Smitten lip tint mousses. I got Love Struck, which is kind of like a purpley mauvey pinky colour. And I also got Charmed, which is like a pink based grey almost. Like it's like a greyish, like a true greyish colour. I think this is probably more greyish than it is ghoulish. I know that a lot of people find that this pulls pink on them, and I don't understand that. Maybe because it's like I'm white and nothing can pull that colour on me because I'm white. I don't know. I'll do some quick swatches for you so you can see them all together. There we go. So there are those ones right there. From top to bottom, it is Charmed, Love Struck, then Ghoulish, then Latte Confession, and then Poison Apple. And they're all really beautiful, and they like stay on like a bitch. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm actually not going to be wearing them today. So I'm putting on the Australis Colour Inject lipstick in Mambo. I think they've actually reformulated this. This is the really old packaging because I've had this forever. Okay, I'm just going to pop a little bit of this lip gloss over the top. This is a Rimmel gloss called Oh My, well, it's an Oh My gloss by Rimmel London, and then it is in shade 130 per Glossy Cat. Well, I don't know why it took me so damn long to say that. This is actually new though. I got this in the Priceline. Ugh! Got this in the Priceline 40% off sale. There we go. That's my face with all my new product. Thank you so much for watching. All of my social media stuff is in the links below. My Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook page. My column that I write. I think that's it. All that stuff will be in the down bar below. If you want to see more of me more often, I'm always down there doing stuff. Thank you so much for watching. And if this video has gone for like 2 hours, I'm sorry. Thank you for sticking around. I cannot believe that you've made it to the end of it. Have a good day, guys. Bye.